It's the height of summer and they smell amazing. We're going to be making meringues to go in our Eton mess. So I've got my cooked chickpea water here, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you can get it if you have a tin or a jar of chickpeas that are cooked, that doesn't have salt in it. You can just strain it, and with the remaining liquid, which is what this is, you make your meringues. So this is 100 ml. So I've taken it out of the fridge about an hour before I needed it, just so it can warm up. That just helps with the meringue process. So I'm going to put this into my KitchenAid. So that's 100 ml there. And I'm just going to put in a quarter of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. This helps with the structural integrity of the meringues. And it's always vegan, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, just a tiny drop of white wine vinegar. The acid also helps to keep them stable. But just a drop. You won't taste that once they're cooked. And I'm just going to whisk this until it's stiff. That's been about 5 minutes, and it is lovely and stiff, and I should be able to do this without it falling on my head. Not very scientific, but it works. So what you want to do is you want to get the aquafaba really stiff before you start adding the sugar. I've got 170 grams of caster sugar here, and I've got 1 vanilla pod. And I'm going to sort of put it on a medium speed, and I just want to keep it going until all the sugar's incorporated. So I've got my vanilla pod here, and if you can get your hands on a vanilla pod, it is quite special to have those fresh beans. I'm going to add another tablespoon of caster sugar. So I've added all my sugar, and I'm just going to stop it there. And you can see that it's holding its shape here, so we know that's ready. It's gorgeous, as you can see in there. Don't panic about how your meringues are going to turn out, because the Eton mess is perfect for making a mess with your meringues. If they crack, if they break, no one's going to know. So hopefully, if you follow this recipe properly, it's going to work and you're going to have lovely full meringues. But if it doesn't work out, don't panic. So I've preheated my oven to 100 degrees Celsius, and I've got these 2 baking trays here. Now you can absolutely get yourself a piping bag and pipe the meringues very sort of elegantly, but I just like a tablespoon. So this should make about 10 meringues. And I'm just going to do that. It's like shaving foam. So I'm going to put 5 meringues on each tray, leaving enough space so that when they cook they can kind of spread out a little bit. Hopefully they're not going to spread out too much, if I've done my recipe correctly. This is also great because you can make the meringues happily the day before. Some actually say that it's better to make them the day before. Sort of dolloping them down and then moving my spoon up a bit to just give them these little peaks. And you can go round, if you've not quite, like I have, not quite sort of divided it evenly, and just top them up. But again, it's really doesn't have to be perfect. So those are my meringues. And I'm going to put them in the oven for 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that's it, very simple. This makes a wonderful birthday cake. If you don't sort of gravitate towards a sort of Victoria sponge, or if you're a bit too grown up for a birthday cake, this is such a lovely seasonal celebration, and you can fit some candles in it very happily. I have my plant-based yogurt here, 400 grams. That one is a coconut yogurt, but you can use whichever one you prefer. And I'm just going to flavour this with some lovely vanilla and a little bit of icing sugar to give it that sweetness. Got a fresh vanilla pod here, which I'm just going to split down the middle. So I'm just going to scrape these lovely beans. Just pop them in like that. Like I said before, don't throw the pods out, keep them for making roast fruit or granola, or they're just lovely and too precious to waste. And I've got some icing sugar here. I've got 70 grams, which I've sifted. Do sift it, don't want lumps. And I'm just going to add that. And that's going to sweeten it up, pop it all in there, and stiffen it up a bit as well. My meringues are ready. They've held their shape, which is always good. I let them cool. And as you can see, lovely white meringues. And I'm just going to peel them off very easily. So I'm going to start I'm going to gently break it. I want to keep it slightly whole just to show everyone that it wasn't a complete mess to start with. And I'm just going to, I like keeping these whole. Push that in a bit. You can slightly smoosh your raspberries. They're still quite soft and gooey inside, which is really nice. No one's going to break a tooth. Just do this however you like. Just layering it up. I think you'll agree that's looking rather festive and pretty. Not really a mess. An organised mess. And the last bit of coconut yogurt here, just on top there. How about a strawberry on top? Et voila, my birthday eaten mess. Entirely gluten-free, if that's important to you. Do hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for another episode of What on Earth to Eat Now.